we're going to take a look at how to add a point marker in Google Earth and then attach an image to that marker and a bit of text so that when someone clicks on that image or clicks on that point, they'll see the image and the text that you've added. So first of all, we need to find we need to have an image online somewhere. So it could be on your website or an archive somewhere. I have it on my website, and it happens to be just this image here. And I'm going to right click on it, and the option says copy image URL. So I just copied the URL and it goes into memory, and I can just minimize that. So now I find the location that I want to go to in Google Earth. This happens to be down in this corner here in an area called the Baths, which is named after a geological formation called the batholiths. And what it is a maze of huge boulders you can walk through, and the waves come in through, and it's really impressive. So I'm going to put a point marker there and add that image to that point marker, so when someone clicks on it they can see what it looks like. So now that I have the URL of the image in memory, I can go up to the top corner here, and there's an option there that says add placemark. So you click on that and it brings up a dialog box, and it also brings up an icon or a symbol, a point symbol. So first of all, you can add a name to it. I'm going to call it the Baths, and let's write it in here. And you can get the coordinates either off the Google Earth site, or if you have GPS coordinates, you can type them right in there. Depending how you've set up your Google Earth under Tools, you're either going to be using latitude, longitude in degrees, minutes, or seconds, or decimal degrees, or degrees, minutes, and decimal minutes, or there's all kinds of formats you can use. I think the other one is UTM, which is Universal Transverse Mercator. Depending on what format you're using, just make sure that it's configured the way you need it, and to do that you go up to Tools and then Options, and you can configure it to whichever way you want if you have coordinates already. Sometimes you're doing a research project and you have coordinates that you need to put in instead of actually physically locating them by site. So once you get that put in, I'm going to move this down to an area here that's right in there's where the image was recorded. Now I go down a little further, and there's a section there called Add Image. So you click on Add Image, and it asks you what the image URL is. This is where I just go Control V to paste it, Control V, and it pastes the URL that it copied a few minutes ago. And you go OK, and it will put that code right inside here. And then you go OK. So now when I go up and click on the Baths, it comes up with the image. There's the title and the image itself. So I want to add a little extra information, like maybe some historical context or some geological information or some local interest information underneath there. So I'm going to now go up, and it probably put the link actually under My Places, so I can go and just right click on the point I just recorded and go Properties, and we have everything that was like it was before. And now I just go in, and in the code where it says the image source, I just make 2 spaces down, and I'm going to add one line. I'm going to call it line 1, and I'm going to put a greater than, or sorry, a lesser than, and then BR, and then a greater than sign. And that just means a break, a line break. So what this is called HTML code, which is Hypertext Markup Language Code, and what it does is it just tells the line, it tells the computer to make a line break to the next line. And I'm going to add my second line, line 2, and instead of a break, I'm going to put in a paragraph break, which is just double the size. So again, less than sign, P for paragraph, and then a greater than sign. And that's all the code we need. So we have a line 1 with a normal break, line 2 with a paragraph break, and then we have the image underneath there. So we go OK. And now when I click on the icon, we have the baths, the first line, and the normal break to the second line. And because we added a paragraph break underneath that, we have an extra separation between the line and the image. That adds a nice touch. It doesn't look cluttered that way. So you can put any kind of text you want in that line there. I just put line 1 and line 2 just to make it simple. Okay. Say we want to change the symbol. We don't like that symbol. We want it to be maybe a dot. Again, we just right click on the symbol or the link and go to properties, and up in the top right hand corner you'll see the little marker, and I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go down here and just pick up a round dot, and I go and pick up a color, say red, and then OK. So now I have a red dot, and go OK, and OK. So now when I click on it, it brings up again the image and the 2 lines and the text right there. So it's very simple. Now, say you want to save this and you want to send it to someone or put it on your website so that others can see the places you've been to or the points that you're referencing. Probably all the points that you've gathered on your Google Earth map here are under My Places. So you just write, they'll be listed one on top of the other, so there'll be a whole list of them down here. So under My Places, you just right click on it and you go Save Place As, and I'm going in my temp folder, but you can put it anywhere you want. And you have 2 options to save it. One is called a Kml file. It stands for Keyhole Markup Language. And Keyhole was the company that Google bought in order to get the technology for Google Earth, and they just kept the naming format for the file. So it's Keyhole Markup Language, KML, and the other option is KMZ, which is simply a zipped version of KML. So I'm going to save it as a KML file, and I've already made one here a few minutes ago. I'm going to call this one Baths 2. There we go, and save. Okay, now I'm going to delete this one just because I don't want to see 2 of them when I open it up. I want to make sure that when I open it up, it's the one from the file, not the one from memory here. So I'm going to minimize this and go into my temp folder, go down, and there are the 2 files. One was the one I had there before, and the Baths 2 is the one that I created just a few seconds ago. I'm going to double click on that, and in a few seconds it should open up Google Earth, and there it is, the Baths. And when I click on it, double click, and there we go, the Baths and the 2 lines of information and the image. So I hope this helps.